Hey guys, thanks for joining me here in sunny Vancouver. We got the sun out, the rain's gone away for today, so we're very lucky. We're going to be focusing a little bit on flexibility today. We're going to have a look at a bit of triathlon specific. My name is James Greenwood. I'm a triathlon coach, and I'm going to be taking you through the sequence of stretches that will hopefully help you remain injury-free, have a good range of motion about your joints, and just basically keep your performance at the optimal level that it should be. Now, a couple of things before we get going. We're going to be using, we got our bands. Okay, so I'm going to be making use of some of these TheraBands. We use these in our training. I've got my ball right behind me, so we're going to be making use of a couple of these. A lot of the stretches are just body weight. You don't need apparatus to do them, but they do focus on a lot of the key or critical areas that triathletes tend to have issues with, starting with obviously through the shoulders and the chest, the upper back, between the shoulder blades, the thoracic spine. We tend to pick up a lot of issues in the hips, around the quads and hamstrings, and down into the calves and the feet. So we're going to focus on those areas particularly. Obviously, there are a number of stretches that you can do on top of these ones. If you go to your MyPypeline.com, you can get a whole bunch more stretches and information specific to the stretching. So I'm going to get things going off here. So I just want you to start off, just grab a hold of a band. Either one works, doesn't matter which one you have. If you don't, you can get hold of a towel, put it over your toes, and we're going to start lying down onto the floor, and I'm going to put this band straight over my toe. Now, the stretches we're doing here, we want to hold for between, I'd say 30 to 60 seconds, 45 to 60 seconds being the optimal. This stretch here we're starting off with is focusing on a muscle called the gastrocnemius, or the calf. All right, it's the muscle that crosses over the knee, and what I want you to focus on is actually pulling the toe toward the knee. So we're pulling the toe toward the knee, the leg is staying fully extended or straight, and we're holding that there. Now just be careful when you pull on the band that it doesn't snap off the toe and hit you in the face. All right, so we're going to hold that stretch. Just try and relax. We keep this knee bent. We want to keep the hips flat on the floor. The stretch should not be painful. It should be, you should feel it pulling through the muscle, but it should not be sore. All right? And all the time, I just put a little counter on my watch for 45 seconds, and that then just tells me how long I've been holding the stretch for. Obviously, what we do to the one side, we do to the other. All right? We got 5 seconds more. Keep holding that stretch. And good work, and let's let it go. Let's go on to the other side now. So we change legs onto the other toe, and there it is. Straight leg, pulling it out. Feel that straight through the back of the leg. Left leg, foot on the floor, keeping the hips nice down, flat on the mat, and relaxing. Breathing is so important, guys. You have got to get the oxygen into the system. It helps you to relax, and it's going to help to release the muscle. And we just hold it there. Try and relax as much as you can. Relax the joints, relax the ankle, let the toe come pull down toward the knee. Put a little bit more pull onto the band if you want to get that extra bit of stretch. You've got another 15 seconds. Now these stretches are going to help you avoid issues like Achilles tendonitis, plantar fasciitis, calf muscle tears and strains. Very common in running. Also, they do occur a lot in cyclists. So also swimmers want a good range of motion of flexibility around the ankle for their kick. Excellent. We're still working around the ankle. We're going on to the second muscle that makes up the calf, and that's called the soleus. Now the soleus muscle does not cross the knee. So to take out the effect of the hamstring, I want you to bend the knee in this position here, and you're going to pull the toe exactly the same way you did on the last stretch with the leg straight. Pull the toe toward your knee. This is going to still stretch through the Achilles at the back of the heel, but it's actually stretching a different muscle. The muscle is called the soleus. All right? We're holding it there. Really aggressively try and get that toe moving up toward the knee. There it is. Good stuff. Keeping nice and relaxed. Again, you're keeping the back pushed into the ground. Activating your core stabilizers. This helps you to actually generate the force of pulling that toe up toward the knee. Give me another 10 seconds on the stretch, guys. As I said, 45 seconds, that's what we're looking for on the stretching. And done. Good work. Let's let that go. We're going to change it up onto the other leg now. So exactly the same stretch, little bend in the knee. Get that band or the towel or whatever you're using wrapped up over the knee there. Nice relax at the ankle. You want to really let go through the calf. You want that calf to lengthen out. This one is probably not as intense as the previous one, the gastrocnemius stretch. This is purely because it is a slightly deeper muscle group. It lies underneath the gastrocnemius, the main calf muscle. Doesn't tend to get as much tension generated within it. So you won't feel exactly, the same sort of stretch as you did on the previous stretch. That's awesome. Good stuff, guys. Breathing the whole time. You want to stay nice and relaxed. You want to lengthen out that muscle. Awesome. Keep pulling on it. Give me another 10 seconds on this one. You can move further into the stretch as you feel the stress in the calf releasing a little bit. Just move further into the stretch. And you're done. Good work. Well done. Okay, so those are 2 basic stretches that you can do for the calves. The second area that we're going to focus on right now are the hamstrings. Now the hamstrings, especially in runners, are always a big issue. Always tight, and that affects your running mechanics. Cyclists and swimmers also suffer from hamstring issues. So we're going to start off just with a regular, traditional, straight leg hamstring stretch. Very similar position as you did for the calf or the gastrocnemius. But this time what I want you to do, I want you to pull the leg closer toward the 90 degrees. So you're actually moving more into the back of the leg, a little bit away from the calf. You don't have to worry so much about pulling the toe toward the knee this time, and pull it up there. I want you to keep the pelvis flat on the mat. I don't want you lifting the pelvis to get into a greater range of motion. Work within a range of motion that you can tolerate. You decide how far you can stretch. All right? Breathing, keeping relaxed. That's awesome. Now there are 3 parts to the hamstring. We've got the biceps femoris, which is the long muscle in the hamstring, which crosses the hip and the knee. This is what we're stretching right now. We have 2 others which we're going to move into now. The second one is called the semitendinosus, and the third is the semimembranosus. What I want you to do here, again, keeping the pelvis nice and flat on the mat, just drop your leg down to the side, still pulling up toward your head. You're going to feel that stretch on the inside of the thigh now, running up the inner thigh. That is where you're going to feel that stretch. Okay, obviously the further down you go, the deeper the stretch is. The more you pull the leg up, the deeper the stretch goes. Start conservatively, then get more aggressive as you feel that you can work within that range of motion. Let's hold that there for another 15 seconds. I'm going to back it off a little bit, pull it up toward my face a little more. That's perfect. Just holding it there. You want to stay nice and relaxed. You're not tensing up any muscles in the thigh. You want to relax the muscles to release them. Very important. The third, we're basically going to have to straighten the leg. We're not working with a supporting leg flat on the floor anymore. We're going the opposite way across the body now. So now what we're doing, we're actually coming over the leg that is flat on the floor and pulling. Keep the leg straight. You're not going to be able to get a big range of motion here. You're on the inside, stretching down the outside of the thigh now. All right, so now we've hit all 3 of those hamstring muscles. We've hit all 3 of them. These are pretty painful because these 2 particularly, the semitendinosus and the semimembranosus, the outside and inside stretches are generally not that often stretched. These areas tend to get very tight. You feel that right through the back of the knee. Oh, that's a pretty uncomfortable stretch. Wow. All right.